single day to practice a little bit of consistency, to build a little bit of community, and to make the suffering we're about to put our hips through a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. So if you're ready, we've given the chat a couple of seconds to get their notifications and stuff and come in. Hey, Buddha, welcome back. Let's get ready with some hip cars. Warm up time. Hip curls look a little bit like this. We're going to start by standing on one leg and lifting the other leg up as high as we can. Lift that knee up, 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 up. From here, we're going to try our best to bring that leg over that way. Open it up. Feel the contraction here in your glutes. They're contracting right here. Go boom. Pull that leg back. When you have it going backwards and you're feeling that contraction in your glutes and the side of your hips, you're going, ooh, try to bring that knee up a little higher if you can. All right. From here, we're going to rotate the leg so that the ankle comes up and is hidden behind the knee. It just looks hidden because you can't see it, but over here, we're aiming for something close to horizontal. All right. And then we're going to keep going. Past horizontal, bring the knee down, keep the ankle coming up. Ooh, feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Bring the leg down and back. Oh, feel the hamstring, feel the glute, feel the stretch up here in the front in your hip flexor. And that is one rep. We're doing 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. Let's get ready to put our legs through the ringer. Let's go. Are you waiting one leg? High knee. Open. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's one. If you are not so good at balancing, feel free to stick your hands out, grab a wall, grab something for a little bit of support. Otherwise, let's keep going. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. I think that's three. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five again. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six. Your first couple are going to be a little less impressive because for the most part, we're going to be slowly warming up together. And as you approach the end of these 10, I think this is 8, you're going to get a little looser, but you're also going to get a little bit more tired. So just try your best. And last one, high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Woo! I get most tired on the leg that's doing the balancing these days. Not quite sure why this suffers so much more than that one, but I hope you've gotten a second to shake out your legs because we're going to move on and do the other leg. All your weight is in this leg. We are balancing. We're staying nice and strong right here on this foot and high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two. Remember, these are called hip cars. Controlled. Articulating rotations. We're using our own muscles to bring our legs through their full range of motion available at that hip. And we're building strength and mobility at the same time. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's seven. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's nine. Last one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Those are hip thrusters going forward. Do a little wiggle. Shake out your hips. Shake out your arms. Shake out your legs. Do some shaky, 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 shaky. Let your body relax for a hot second. And let's get ready to go in reverse. If you need an extra breath, I feel like I do because I talk too much and I don't take enough time to breathe. So, okay, let's go. When we go backwards, we're going to start by bringing the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. All right? Feel the stretch right here in the front of your hip flexor. From here, we're going to lift that leg up to this side. From the front, it's going to look like this. Boom. All right? And if you want to be real cool with it, you're like, pa! Imagine you're going to kick somebody, but don't actually because it's not that type of show. All right? We're going from here. Then we're going to bring the knee down, lift the ankle up. Then we're going to bring the knee up, point that ankle down, and bring that knee to the front. That is one rep, one very complicated rep, but I'm going to face you for the rest of these so it's easier to just copy what I'm doing. And remember, this is all about using your muscles to bring your leg to all these crazy places so you get strong and mobile at the same time. All right, enough chitty chatty. Let's do this. Back. Lift that leg. Side. Woo. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's one. Back. Side. Ankle up. ankle down, knee. That's 2. Hopefully now that you're coming back to this leg, you're feeling a little bit more mobile, a little bit more loose. If you're just joining in and it's the first time you're doing anything on this leg anyway, then maybe not. But if you've been here for a couple minutes, you were able to catch the tail end of our first go around, that probably makes this feel a little bit easier. 6. I find that going backwards, I'm much more comfortable than the ones that we start with. I don't know if that's because I'm warmed up or if I'm just, I don't know, more balanced when we go in reverse for some reason. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 9. Last one, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. But if you guys have a side or like a direction that you prefer, whether going forward or going backwards, let me know in the chat, either now or later. Probably later because I'm not going to read it now. Back, other side, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 1. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Actually, I take it back. If you don't comment, I'm not going to remember to tell you to do that again later. So 3. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Again, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 5. As you get more skilled at these, I want you to try your best to keep your hips in the same spot, to have all the movement coming from how this leg bone is moving inside your hip joint, but not actually having your hips do any dancing like this. All right, we're not hula. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. I think that's 7, maybe. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 8, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 9. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 10. Oh, that is our first warm-up exercise. We are done with those. It's time to move on to our second warm-up exercise. A little bit more chill, at least for a couple of seconds. Fold at your waist. Fold at your hips, excuse me. Bring your belly button down towards the ground and breathe. Chill. Relax for a second. And we're going to start to add a little bit of movement. All right? We're going to bend one leg, straighten out the other, fold our belly button all the way down. Feel that stretch in our hamstrings. Both legs, both hamstrings should feel a stretch. They're going to be a little bit different because one leg is straightened out and one leg is bent, but you want to feel it a little bit in both, just differently. All right? We're going to switch. One leg is now bent, and the other leg that was bent is now straight. And keep switching from side to side. There isn't an exact number I want you to do, but I do want you to focus on moving back and forth. All right? It's time for me to tell you about the rest of the show while you're distracted by this. All right? We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. Everything we do up until the last stretch is hip mobility, and that implies that the final thing that we do is some side splits. All right? We do this every single day to practice a little bit of consistency to make this a little easier to do, a little more fun to suffer on the ground doing some stretches, and hopefully you're liking it enough to keep going. All right? Whew. If you like this show, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe whenever you finally get up out of this position so that you can keep on getting notified to come back. All right, now that you know all that, it's time for us to continue. We're going to go a little bit deeper for our last final reps. I want you to fold your belly button down a little bit more, and down a little bit more, and down a little bit more. Keep on switching from side to side. Feel those hamstrings getting stretched. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Pop into a squat, come back up into standing. That is our second warm-up exercise. Shake out your legs, give them a little flop, do a little wiggle, and let's get into warm-up exercise number 3. We're going to do some thoracic rotation. That is this chunk underneath your neck to about your belly button. All right? This chunk of your spine is designed to rotate, is designed to slouch, do the opposite of slouching, and to bend a little from side to side. Most of us are not doing very many of those 4 options, so let's do some right now. We're going to get back into the position we were just in. One leg is bent, one leg is straight. We're folding our belly buttons down towards the ground. We're taking the arm from the bent leg side. We're reaching across to the straight leg. We're going to push off the shin bone, this bone right here, to help rotate our spine. All right. From here, we're going to extend our arms up into the air. If you cannot reach straight up and you're at an angle, that's all right. Just try your best. Rotate your neck to look at your hands, and we're going to breathe. Inhale, exhale, and try to reach over our shoulder after the exhale. All right, let's go. Inhale, exhale, reach. Woo! That is only half a rep. We got to do the same. Bent leg, straight leg, bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo, that is one. We got 5 of these to do, so we got 4 more. If you're ready, let's get to it. Bent leg, bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Oh, look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 2. Other side. Exhale, reach. That's 2 again. 3, 4, and 5. Let's do it. Bent leg, bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo, that's 3. And inhale. Exhale, reach. 3 again. Go straight into 4. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. Give yourself a second. Your shoulders, your delts are probably a little tired right now. Give it a moment, and we're going to get into number 5 in just a second. We're going to cover it from the top in case you just hopped in. We're bending one leg. We're straightening out the other leg. We're taking the arm from the bent leg side. We're reaching across to that straight leg to push off the shin bone to help us rotate our spine. While it's rotating, we're going to stick our arm up and out. Rotate your neck to look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Reach over your shoulder, reach back in. Woo. That's 5. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Woo. That is 5. We have done our third warm-up exercise. If your delts, these shoulder muscles over here, are feeling a little bit tired, that's okay. That's normal. We also don't need them for anything else, so they can just be tired a little bit. Cool. We're going to move on into our 4th and final warm-up exercise. These are called Cossack switches. They look a little bit like this. We're going to try our best to straighten out one leg and deep squat on the other leg and get into this position. Deep squat here, side split over there. All right. For most of us, you're probably not going to get super deep right away. You'll need a little bit of practice, a little bit of training. Your version might look a little bit more like this. All right. Wherever you are, the next step is to get our butts to the other side and to mirror this position on the other side. If you're a little bit higher up, it might just look like this. Boom. Pull yourself over, and here we are. If you're a little lower to the ground, you might need a little bit of help with your hands. You might need to go and wobble yourself all the way over so you get into the position on the other side. Bada bang, bada boo. Here we are. That is half a rep. We got to come back. You can use the same method you got over to go back, and that is 1. Keep going. Keep going from side to side. That's 2. Feel free to use as much support or as little support as you need. I'm demonstrating this more advanced version, but if you're a little bit higher up and you're just coming from side to side and this is your best, this is absolutely perfect. All right? 3, keep going. If you realize you can continue without using your hands at all, you're just like, whoa, look at me, no hands, ma. That's fantastic. I think this is 5. I honestly have not been keeping track very well. But if it is 5, we're going to talk about some other variations. If you want to try to make this a little harder, you can sit up a little bit straighter, extend your arms out in front of you to help counterbalance, and keep going. 6, again, over and back. 7, if your knees are telling you this movement right here from side to side is a little uncomfortable, a little painful, you can come up a little bit so it's not as much pressure on your knee joint. All right, come on up a little bit, slide across, and sink back down. We get all the benefits of hanging out in that low stretch position without putting all of that pressure on your knee. And this is 8, up, across, down, up, across, down. That's 9. Last 1. Come on up, across, and down. Again, up, across, and down. That is 10 reps. Congratulations. We are all done with our Cossack switches, our Cossack slidey things. That is our warm up. Don't let that sentence scare you. We need to warm up our ankles, our knees, our hips, our backs for the next couple of stretches that we're going to do. And the show actually gets kind of a little bit easier from here. The cardio component goes away. All right. The lungs working real hard trying to catch your breath, that goes away from here on out. Cool. If you don't know, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we put ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little less awful, and a little easier to stay consistent with. All right. Next, we're going to move on into our first stretch. We're moving to the hamstring stretch. I need a little piece of padding, and I recommend you go grab it too. Grab a piece of padding for you as well. And scoot that over there. We are looking for padding because our hamstring stretch is going to look like this. One knee's on the ground, one leg is extended out in front. What I want you to grab does not have to be fancy at all. If you have one flip-flop left over, somehow you've lost the other one, perfect. Go use that one. You just need one knee protected at a time because the other leg is going to be extended out. So you just need a little tiny bit. If you have an old dog toy that your dog's ripped apart, stick the stuffing back in, stick it on your knee. If you have dirty laundry, roll up some shirts, roll up some towels, stick it on your knee. Couch cushion, decorative pillow, whatever you got that's squishy, throw it on your knee, and we're ready to go. All right? From here, I want you to kneel up nice and straight and tall. And I want you to extend that leg out in front of you. And then I want us all to fold forward. All right? We're going to take a big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, fold, fold. As soon as your hamstrings are telling you, no way, feel free to stop and rest there for a second. We're going to breathe. We're going to slowly let our upper body relax, let it drop down into the floor, and see if we can get a little bit chiller and deeper into the stretch. All right, inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into the stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3 times. Knee up, chest down, straighten out. We're moving into some movement. What we're going to do right now is bring our knee up into this lunge position. We're going to fold our upper body down towards that leg the best that we can. If you can't get your chest to touch your thighs, that's okay. Just try your best. From here, we're going to extend our arms down to the ground, and we're going to straighten out our leg, feel that stretch in the hamstrings. And while we're doing that, we're going to try and stay a little bit compressed. We're going to try to keep our chest close to that thigh because we're practicing that forward fold right here, right? You're going to get further away. You're going to separate, and that's totally fine. Just do it thoughtfully. All right, let's go. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Ooh, feel that hamstring stretch. Let's go. Again, knee, chest, straighten. Ooh, that's 2. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 3 again. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 4. Hey, keep going. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 5. Feel that hamstring stretch. Give it a second. And now we're going to fold a little bit deeper. I want you to take a big breath in into your lungs. I want you to slowly exhale that air. And while you're exhaling, I want you to focus on bringing this belly button down towards the ground. All right, we're folding. Ready? Inhale, exhale, fold. Let's do a big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, fold, fold. Woo. Oh, man. All right. Here we are, a little deeper in our stretch. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop into that leg. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little bit deeper. 3rd time. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. Right now, if your back is rounded like mine is, but you're just letting your back relax, that's fine. If you are desperately trying to smash your face into the knee, you're rounding and you're pulling on your muscles, you're trying so hard to get into a deeper stretch, you're working too hard. All right? Relaxing right now. Relax. And we might have one more. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop into the floor. All right, let's go. Knee up, chest down, straighten up. Knee, chest, straighten. Woo, hamstrings. Knee up, chest down, straighten. Woo, that's 2. Knee up, chest down, straighten. That's 3. Knee up, chest down, straighten. That's 4. Again, knee, chest, straighten. Ooh, feel that stretch in your hamstrings. And let's fold a little bit deeper. Inhale, exhale, fold. Y'all ready? Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Ooh, that is a little bit deeper. Inhale, exhale, relax. That's 1. Again, inhale. Relax. That's 2. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 1. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 2. Knee up, chest down. Straighten it out. That's 3 again. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 4. Last one. Knee, chest, straighten. That's 5. We are almost done. We're going to hang out here for 30 seconds, and that's it. 30, 29, 28, 27. If you're a regular and you want to, we can do the PNF version of the stretch. We can try to push our heels deeper into the ground by contracting our hamstring muscles. And we're going to do that for about 10 seconds starting right now. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Relax, relax, relax. Everybody relax. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Come on out of it. If you are not a regular and you're like, what was that? That was craziness. What are you talking about? How do we do that? Don't worry about it right now. But what we just did was contract our hamstring muscles to try and squeeze the muscle that we're stretching out at the same time. That tricks the brain a little bit and then lets the muscle relax a little bit more so that we can get into a slightly deeper stretch afterwards. All right? We're not going to get too deep into that right now, though. So switch your legs and let's go on the other side. Stand up, not stand up. Kneel up nice and tall. Extend your leg out in front. Get ready to fold. Bring the belly button down to the leg. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Your hamstrings are telling you no, 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 no. And it's time to breathe. Inhale. Relax. Let your body flop into that leg. Let's do it again. Inhale. Relax. That's 2. Keep going. Inhale. Relax. Oh, man, that is 3 times. From here, we're going to do the knee up, chest down, straighten thing. Ready? Let's go. Knee. Chest. Straighten. That's 1. Let's go. Knee. Chest. Straighten. That's 2. Keep going. Knee. Chest. Straighten. That's 3. Feel that hamstring stretch. Take your time with the last little bit where you're extending the leg. Ooh, that's 4. Again, knee. Chest. Straighten. That is 5. It's time to fold a little deeper. Y'all ready? Let's go. Inhale, exhale, fold. Big breath in. Inhale. Exhale and fold, fold, fold. Bring that belly button down. Woo! Feel that hamstring stretch build. Inhale, relax. Let your belly button fall to the ground with the rest of your body. Get floppy, get loose, relax. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little bit deeper. Again, 3rd time's the charm. Inhale. Relax. That is 3. We're doing 5. Knee up, chest down, straightens. Let's go. Knee up, chest down, straighten. Woo, that's 1. High knee. Open. Sorry, what? What am I saying? Knee up, chest down, straighten. That's 2. I went into hip car instructions. Knee up, chest down, straighten. That's 3. Remember, if your back is rounded because it's relaxed, fine, great, no problem. If your back is rounding because you're desperately trying to smash your face into the ground right now, you're working too hard, relax. Knee up, chest down, straighten. That's 5. I think I got one more fold. Let's do this. Inhale, exhale, fold. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale, unfold that belly button down towards the ground. Let's go. Inhale, relax. Let your belly button, let your body drape into the floor. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper if you can. Third time's the charm. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's one. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's two. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's three. Let's keep going. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's four. Again. Knee. Chest. Straighten. That's five. That's our second time. It is time for us to hang out for 30 seconds. Ready? If you're not a regular, you've been doing, I mean, no, sorry, you can do whatever you want, but you got some guidance. If you want, you can just relax and breathe. You can do the inhale, relax the whole entire time, all 30 seconds. Otherwise, if you want to do the slightly more advanced version, start contracting your hamstrings, push your heels into the ground at about 20 seconds, go until about 10 seconds, and then try to relax your muscles and see if you can fold a tiny bit deeper. All right? 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. 23, 22, 21, 20. Contract, contract, contract if you want to. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Relax. 9. See if you can sink a little further. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. Bring our legs back. Ah, chill. Catch your breath. Relax. Just do anything but think about how intense that hamstring stretch was and breathe. That was our first stretch. That was our hamstring stretch. We're going to move on into stretch number 2. Don't worry, they get a little bit more chill from here. Number 1 is crazy because we need the hamstrings for like all of them a little bit. And so we spend a lot of time making sure that they're all good so that you can focus on the other parts of the other stretches. That cushion that you just had, you can toss it off to the side. And now I want you to bring your butt to the wall. When your butt is against the wall, your low back is against the wall, your shoulders are against the wall, your head is against the wall, you got something real nice to lean back on. That is what we and bring your feet in towards your groin so that you get into this position. Our second stretch, if you haven't guessed it yet, is the butterfly stretch. The goal of this stretch is to stretch out your inner thighs, your groin muscles. All right. The way we do that is by bringing your knees down towards the ground. What I want you to do, because I always want you to get stronger and build that mobility, earn that mobility, have control over that mobility, is to contract your glutes, contract your outer thighs, use your own muscles to pull yourself deeper into your stretch. If you are new to the show and you're like, what muscles? What are you talking about? How do I do this? Do not worry. Focus on two things. One, your knees went down towards the ground a little bit. All right. If you have that going for you, you're probably doing the right thing. Two, when that happens, you should feel a little bit of extra tingliness here in the inner thigh. You're moving in the right direction. Third step, we're going to take our hands. We're going to push down on the inside of the knee just a little bit. And we're going to see if we can bring our legs down just a little bit further. You're going to feel that tension building here in the inner thigh. And we're going to keep on holding that tension while we breathe. All right. For the next 30 seconds, I want you to slowly breathe in and out. When you're exhaling, when you're breathing out, I want you to try to apply a little bit more pressure into your thighs. Push a little harder down into the ground, just a little bit. As long as there's no sharp, intense pain, just keep on applying steady pressure and experimenting with a little bit more, experimenting with a little bit more, experimenting with a little bit more. And we're going to run out of time long before you're out of range, I think. 30 seconds. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and push. 26, 25, 24, 23, inhale. 22, exhale. 19, 18, 17, inhale. 15, 10, 9, inhale. 6. Exhale. 0. That was the whole thing. Hopefully, you were experimenting. You were trying to push your legs down a little deeper. If right now you're still in position, you're feeling that tension in the inner thighs, you're doing great, right? If it just feels like regular old tension, you're like, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but it doesn't hurt, then that is great. That is what we want. Keep going like this next time, the day after that, because, we do this live every day, right? Next. I want you to shake out your wrist a little bit. Nice gentle shake, nice gentle flop. You don't have to go crazy whipping your hand back and forth, up and down, because your wrists tend to be rather fragile compared to other joints because they got a lot going on and they're, small, thin little things. So don't go rah and start shaking out your hands super aggressively after that. All right. Next, flap the wings of your butterfly. Go up and down and up and down, up and down. Develop some control. Get some familiarity with how this set of muscles works. And next time you get back into it, you'll be like, oh, hey, I know exactly how to bring my knees down towards the ground. All right. Once you've been doing this for a couple of seconds, your legs are feeling okay, your wrists are feeling okay, we're going to move on into stretch number 3. Stretch number 3 is called the standing pancake. Take your time, come back up into standing. I'm going to go grab a prop real quick for a little bit later. And I have it now. All right, I'm going to put that over here. The standing pancake looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs decently wide. Nothing crazy, just a little bit wider. All right. We're going to fold. We're going to bring our belly button down towards the ground. Let's go. Wee. When you fold in half and you fold down like this, from the side, it should look something more or less like this. All right. If you're a little less flexible, maybe you're a little higher up. If you're a little bit more flexible, you're a little lower down. All right. In general, this is about what we're aiming for. The reason why we care about this angle, this position, is because gravity, right now, when your upper body is horizontal, is doing its mostest to help pull you down. We want as much support from gravity as we can get. And that's what we're doing right now, getting that gravity support. To make gravity's effects feel a little bit more intense on your body, extend your arms out in front of you and breathe. Exhale. See if gravity helps pull you down a tiny bit deeper. If you want a little bit more of that effect, feel free to hold on to something in your hands as you extend it out in front of you, and that should help pull you down a little bit further. If your balance is not so good, you might want to grab a seat. All right. If you feel like you're going to topple over, you're about to smash your face into the ground, that is a good reason to find a slightly different version. When you sit down and then you open up your legs again, you start folding forward. You might have a little bit more difficulty getting as deep into the stretch as we were before, but your balance is more important because we don't want you falling, we don't want you getting hurt. Cool? So, when you fold forward, you can do all the same tricks. Extend your arms up above you, and boom, ta-da! That's your seated pancake. The higher the seat, the easier it will be to fold forward. The lower the seat, the harder it will be to fold forward. But if you have a lot of flexibility, use a lower seat. Cool? All right. Now that we know all that, we got a couple other details. The wider you open your legs, the more exhausting it's going to be for your inner thighs to hold you up in this position. All right? How wide you go is completely up to you. However you want to torture yourself, 100% up to you. All right? Next, let's get into position. Fold. Bring the belly button down towards the ground. The goal ultimately is to bring our upper body completely in between our legs, and it is really hard. So, do what you got to do. See where you can go and extend those arms if you're extending the arms. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Put your hands down on the ground. Slowly bring your legs together. If your legs are super far apart, maybe wiggle your toes and your heels and your toes and your heels and your toes and your heels and your toes and your heels together. And try to walk your hands up your thighs to come back into standing. That is our third stretch. That is our standing pancake. There's a couple of little nuances to this that I don't talk about very often, but my hamstrings are tired, so let's talk about them so we can relax for a second, all right? When you have your legs pretty close together and you focus on folding forward, that's going to make it much more hamstring focused. All right. And you might have noticed while I was demonstrating, when my legs were a little closer together, I can fold quite a bit deeper down, even though my back is slightly bent, right? When I open up my thighs and get into that deeper position, I can't fold nearly as deep. So, how wide you open your legs has a bit of an impact on the stretch. If you want to start building some strength in your inner thighs, which I always recommend because you need it for your side splits, then you might not feel like you're folding as deep, and that is 100% okay. I just want to highlight the difference so that you know. Cool? All right. Hopefully you've caught your breath. Hopefully you're standing, recovered, and we're ready to move on into stretch number 4. We're moving on into either the figure 4 stretch or the pigeon stretch. I feel like last night we did the pigeon stretch, so today I'm going to demonstrate the figure 4. In general, both stretches have the same fundamentals. We're taking one leg, we're crossing it over to the other side, we're bringing that leg towards our belly button, and we're bringing our belly button down towards that leg. We're compressing, we're shrinking down. And from the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. You're going to feel a stretch here in the side of your hip. That is a glute muscle. You're going to feel a stretch here in the hamstrings, and you're going to feel maybe some sensation right here where you're actually doing the folding. The figure 4 is done laying down on our back. So come on down to the floor, lay down, and I don't know how you guys actually watch this video when you're laying down, but hopefully, don't drop the phone on your face. That would hurt. All right, let's go. Take your leg, cross it over to the other side. Make this nice triangle with your legs and stick one hand through the triangle, other hand around the outside, around the other leg. I want you to grab that leg, and I want you to try to pull that leg in towards your chest. All right, inhale. Exhale and pull. Lean back a little bit. See if you don't have to work that hard. If you can just let gravity pull your spine down towards the ground. Inhale again. Exhale and pull. Try to pull that leg in towards you a little bit more. And let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale and pull. Woo, that's 3. This is how we start. This is how we set up. Right now, if your knee is a little bit achy, feeling a little bit tender when you're pulling your ankle-ish area, this area, in towards your chest, you can help it by cupping the knee like so and pulling on it directly, giving some support here to the stretch. All right? That's it. That's the whole thing. Pull your leg in towards your chest, 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26. If you don't like the feeling of cupping your knee with your palm, you can stick your knee into your elbow pit. That also works. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Keep breathing. Keep on pulling that leg in towards your chest. 10, 9. Feel the stretch in your glutes, in your outer glutes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 1, 0. That is our stretch. Ah, that's 1. We gotta do the other side. Drop both legs and cross on over on the other side. Boom. Push this knee out. Really open up that hip. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Stick the arm through the triangle. Other arm around the outside leg. Pull everything in towards your chest and breathe. Inhale. Exhale, pull. See if you can just lean back and bring your arms closer to you just by a little bit. And if you can pull that leg in without actually doing that much work. All right. Maybe that works for the first one, but that might not work for the second one. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, pull. That's 2. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, pull. That's 3. Cup the knee, give it some love, and let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Keep on bringing that leg in towards your chest. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Relax. Let your legs chill. Flop on the ground. Ah, that is our fourth stretch. Whew. Rest. Catch your breath. Let everything chill for a second on the floor. And let's get ready for stretch number 5. If you are just joining in for the first time, somehow you don't know this, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to make the suffering we do a little bit more fun, and hopefully make a little bit of progress together. If you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, if you like some people practicing consistently with you, this is the show for you to be at. Hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, set an alarm, set a calendar invite, do all those cool things, and I'll see you again real soon. But not before we finish our fifth and final stretch. We got some side splits. If you've never done one before, do not worry. We're going to break it down to lots of little pieces to make it a little bit more manageable. But before we do that, I want you to go grab a little bit of hand support. All right, I got this little folding stool that is several years old at this point, and it works just fine for what we needed to do next, which is be a hand support so that it's easier for us to get into a position that looks like this. We want our legs to go wide, and we want it to not carry all of the body weight in our body. So when you have some hand support, you get to put a little bit into your arms and make it a little gentler on your legs. That is what I want you to go grab right now. You don't have to have a folding stool. If you have a big stack of old textbooks, that would probably work. Just make sure they're not so slippery that they kind of slide all the way all over the place. If you have a taller stool, you got something like the one we use to demonstrate the seated pancake, that will also work. If you have a coffee table, an ottoman, something that is a little, about this height, but it's a little bit bigger, as long as you can kind of move it out of the way when you don't want it to be there anymore, that will work. All right. In general, we want something relatively lightweight, but can also support your body weight. Cool? If you have some yoga blocks, that will also work. If you have none of those things, none of the things I've talked about so far, and all you have is a kitchen chair, that will also do. A kitchen chair will be a little bit taller, but you can always start with your elbows on it, and that will be a little bit easier for you. All right? Hopefully, you've taken all of that time to go grab something that works, and I want you to take your hand support. I want you to bring your butt up to the wall and put your hand support in front of you. All right? The wall is going to be your best friend. We're going to use it. We're going to rely on it for a whole bunch of support throughout this stretch. So hopefully, find a spot where you got a little bit of space on either side. All right? From here, we're going to open up our legs just a little bit, and then we're going to rest our butts on the wall, and we're going to get ready to fold. Whee! Put your hands on your hand support. Let your legs go a little bit wider. We're going to have our butt resting on the wall starting basically right now. Your heels, I want you to do something very weird. I want you to rotate your legs so that your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are pointing up, or at least out. The reason why we do this is because there's this nubby part of your thigh bone. If you just keep on trying to lift your leg like this, that nubby part will smash into your hips and it will hurt. We don't want your hips to hurt, so we got to rotate that nubby part out behind us, boom, and all of a sudden it doesn't smash into our hips and everything's good. All right, so heels down, toes up, knees up. You can't just do it on one leg, you got to do on both. Boom, heels down, toes up, no, knees up, nose up, knees up. I combine toes and knees. All right. When you're in this position, I want you to let your butt slowly slide down the wall, and I want you to scoot your hand support a little closer to your legs so that you're basically pinching yourself in between your hand support and the wall. What we're doing here is giving us a whole bunch of support to let our muscles relax and chill and sort of sink deeper into our stretch. All right? Take a couple seconds. I want you to get into a position where you feel more or less balanced. You don't feel like you're about to tip over. You don't feel like you're about to flop into the floor. You're just, in a mildly uncomfortable, stretched out position. All right? Once you're here, we're going to slowly breathe and help our muscles relax a little bit more. Big breath in. Inhale. Hold that breath. Slowly exhale. See if you can sink a little deeper into your stretch. That is our first go around. We're going to breathe 2 more times like this. All right? Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Whew. That's 2. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch if you can. And now we're going to do a little wiggle. Push your right leg out a little tiny bit. Push your left leg out a little bit. Your right heel, left heel, right heel, left heel. See if you can get a tiny bit more distance. And if you cannot any further, we're ready for side split number one. Right now, your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are pointing up. Your head is basically also pointing up. We're hanging out for 30 seconds. That's it. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Don't hold your breath. Remember, your butt is resting against the wall. Your hands are on your hand support. They're trying to take some of the burden of the balancing, of the weight off of your legs so that you can just breathe and focus on chilling as much as you can. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If you can, push your hand support out of the way. Crawl forward, crawl out of that position. Bring your legs in underneath you. Come into some sort of kneeling, resting, sitting kind of position to catch your breath and go, oh my gosh. Whew. Once you've gotten a couple seconds to catch your breath, to breathe and let some of the muscles chill out, let some of the tension release itself, we're going to come back into standing and shake it out. Come back up into standing and pick up one leg. Hold on to the wall for balance if you need to. Start flipping your ankles around. Flip, 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 flop, 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 clickety, click, clackety, clack. That's not right. I don't know what I'm saying. Shake out your legs. Shake out your ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. The purpose of this floppy looking drill is to see that your ankles are going all right. When your ankles are doing that, switch legs by the way. When your ankles are doing that, chances are the muscles that could be holding them back from doing are kind of relaxed, and that's what we want. We want the muscles to be chilled out, to be loose, so that we can get into an even deeper second stretch. There is a second stretch if you didn't know. Next, we are going to shake out our hips just a little bit. I want you to put all of your weight into one leg, big toe of the other foot, other leg down. We're in this position. There's almost no weight in this bent leg, and we're trying to point this knee way over that way. All right? We're flexing our glute muscles to pull that leg open and pointing that knee that way. Then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to contract these muscles here in the front of the hip. We're going to bring the knees so that they're basically touching. If you're new to the show, focus on getting as much range of motion as possible. Really contract those glutes, really contract the inner thigh muscles. Work on building up some strength. If you've been doing this for a while now and you're like, no problem, feel free to dance, feel free to have a little fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and whew, let's go on to the other leg. All of your weight here is on one leg, big toe is down on this side, knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out, knee in and out and 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 in and out. Whew. Shake out that leg, shake out the other leg, shake out a little. Let's get into side split number two. Take your hand support, bring it to the wall, bring your butt to the wall, and let us begin. Open up those legs just a little bit. Lean back, stick your butt against the wall, fold forward, hands on your hand support, and let's drop down. Let your butt slide down the wall. Let your legs go slightly forward in front of the wall and come into a slightly chill but deep open position. We're going to rotate the legs. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Let your butt slide down the wall a little bit more and sink, sink, sink down. If you're new to the show, your version might look a little bit more like this. All right? Does not have to look the way mine does. You might be over here somewhere. I just want you to try your best to let your legs go wide, to adjust your hand support, to let your butt rest against the wall so you can't fall backwards, so you have as much control as you can have with all of this support. All right? Once you come down a little bit and you found a spot that is relatively manageable, feels okay, we're going to breathe. Inhale. Hold that breath. Hold. Exhale, relax. See if you can sink a little deeper into your stretch. If you're not sinking, don't stress out about it because that's not going to help. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. If you feel like you're about to slip, if you feel like you're not in a good position, feel free to take a second, adjust your hand support, adjust your legs, adjust your butt support. All right, inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. That's 3 times. Optional wiggles to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. I don't actually do anything when I do the faster right lefts. We're ready for side split number 2. I want you to lean forward a little bit so that your knees or toes are kind of pointing at a 45-degree angle up and in front of you. And that's going to shift the focus of the stretch to your inner thighs. All right, that is what we want. You can put your hands in front of you on the floor if you want. You can put the hands on your hand support, whatever you want. You can even bend your elbows to get a little bit more weight, a little bit more stress on the inner thighs. 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. Again, yours does not have to look like mine. You might be much higher off the ground, and that is absolutely okay. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Remember, the goal is to feel it in your inner thighs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. That is our stretch. Move your hand support out of the way if it's still in your way. Walk your hands forward. Bring your knees in underneath you. Come on out of that stretch. That is stretch number 2. Catch your breath. Relax. Chill. Let your legs relax. Do a little wiggle. Do a little shake. Move. And when you're ready, come back up into standing. We are shaking it out for side split number 3. All right? Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake some more, wiggle some more, flop some more, and keep going. Shake, 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 shake. Other side. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake some more, wiggle some more, flop some more, shake some more, wiggle some more, flop some more, shake some more, wiggle some more, flop some more, and whoo! That is some ankle shakes. Remember, the goal is just to make sure your muscles are relaxed, right? When you see your leg flopping all over the place, it's probably relaxed. So you don't have to go crazy, shaking out the ankles, shaking out the knees, shaking out too much. If you see that you're flopping and flowing like a soggy, overcooked noodle in the pot you forgot about, you went to have dinner, you came back, you're like, ooh, that is a soggy, overcooked noodle. Right? So we're shaking out our ankles. Let's move on to our hips. All of your weight is on one leg. Big toe is down. We'll bring the knee in and out and 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 whoo. Let's switch to the side. All your weight is on one leg. Big toe is down on the other. There's almost no on this leg, by the way. We're contracting those muscles in the hip to bring the knee in, contracting the muscles here in the glutes to bring the leg out, and we're going in and out and 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 in and out. And this is the last time. In and out and in and out and shake out your legs. That hopefully is just enough rest for us to get back into side split number 3. Hand support in front of you, butt against the wall. Open up those legs and let's fold. Find a comfortable spot to externally rotate your legs. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. Let your butt slide down the wall. Let your legs go slightly in front, away from the wall. And put your hand support in front of you so you're sort of pinching yourself in between the wall and the stool. All right? Or your hand support, excuse me. From here, find a comfortable spot, pretty low to the ground, comfortable-ish for you, as in you're not about to tip over, you're not feeling like some of your muscles are stressing so hard right now just to try and make sure that you don't fall over. If you're feeling that way, take a second, adjust your hands, adjust your butt, adjust your legs until you find something that's a little bit more controllable. All right, let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Drop a little deeper into the stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Sink a little deeper into stretch number 2, or attempt number 2. Inhale. Exhale, relax. If you sink a little deeper, great. If you don't worry about it. Let's do some wiggling. Optional wiggles to the right, to the left, 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 to the right, to the left. And whew, once you're a little closer to the ground, let's get ready for side split number 3. For side split number 3, you can do a lot of different things. You got lots of options. You can do the first stretch that we did, where the toes, the knees, and your head are pointing straight up into the ceiling. All right. You can do option number 2, where you had your knees and your toes kind of pointing up at a 45-degree angle, and your hands are down, giving you a little bit of support, and you're feeling that stretch more in your inner thighs. I'm going to do a slightly different version of number 2, where I'm holding myself up with my muscles. And it's going to suck. You don't have to do it my way. Do it whatever way makes sense for you. All right, 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You guys can all stop. I'm going to keep going for a couple more seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on out of it if you're not out of it yet. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. Bring your legs in underneath you and crawl, sit, relax, do whatever you gotta do. All right. That was intense. All right. Intense stuff over. Let's come back into standing. Let's shake out our legs. Let's loosen up our muscles, and let's get ready to go back to whatever else you gotta do for the rest of the day. Shake out your legs. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake, shake, shake. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Flop, flop, flop. Shake, shake, shake. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Flop, flop, flop. Shake, shake, shake. Wiggle, wiggle, flop, flop, flop. And hopefully that's all right. You can take some probing little gentle steps. I think that feels okay. And let's continue on this side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake some more. Wiggle some more. Flop some more. Shake some more. Wiggle some more. Flop some more. Shake, 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 shake. Whew. I don't feel like that was fair. I think it wasn't as much as the last one. Shake a little bit more. And whew. Seems about right. Do a little wiggle. Do a little dance. Make sure your leg muscles are working. And let's move on into our hips. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down and in. And out. And in and out. And in and out. And in. And out. And in and out. And in and out. And whew. That's probably good. Other side. All your weight in one leg. Big toe is down and in. And out. And in and out. And in and out. And in. And out. And in and out. And in and out. And whew. That's probably good. All right. 2 final moves. We're going to do some slow joint checks, just slowly checking out all of the joint architecture, I guess, in our hips. Let's slowly do some hip circles. Lean into one leg. Come on around. Feel the stretch in the glutes as you come around. Maybe even feel a little bit of that tension in the low back. Come on around. Feel it right here in the side of your booty. And keep on pushing through. Now it's in the front of the hip. And around. Ooh. And whew, if you felt it somewhere particularly crazy, feel free to hang out in that spot for a little bit. Let those muscles relax a little bit. And then you can keep going. If you're not finding anything of note and you're just like, oh, this is easy, feel free to change directions. Come on back the other way. And that should be a bunch of loops in both directions. Now, we're moving on to our last move, our final move. We're doing some crazy looking calf raises. What I want you to do is bring your legs about hips width apart. Legs about like this, not super wide, not super narrow, about hips width apart. We're going to pop into a little bit of a squat. And in this squat, I want you to lean forward. All right? Like you almost want to tip over a little bit, that kind of forward. Then I want you to push your knees forward as well, so that your whole body is kind of leaning forward in that direction. When you're feeling that way, your toes should kick in. They should be gripping the floor real hard to keep you from falling forward. That is what we want. We want our feet engaged in this movement. All right? From here, you can grab your hand support from earlier. You can hold on to the wall, but we're going to do some calf raises. All right? Lean forward. Push those knees forwards. Feel that stretch in the back of your leg, in the Achilles tendon, in your calves, and we're going to do some calf raises. Come on up. Hold. Come on down with control. Try to bring your weight centered between your big toe and your index toe, so your first 2 toes, as you come up and down. Once you've done a couple of reps, double check that you're resetting. You're pushing the knees back. You're feeling that stretch in your calves, and then you're coming up. Woo! And down. I feel like it's like 3. Up and down. 4. Knee forward. Up. Down. Knee forward. Up. Down. Knee forward. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down, and once your calves, your quads are ready to give up and they're like, no more, please, we're ready to call it. All right, what we just did was put our toes to work, put the arch of our foot to work, put our Achilles tendon, our calves into a stretch, and then contracted them. Our quads were firing because we were in that, half squat, sorority squat looking position, and our low back was firing to keep our backs straight while we were leaning so far forward. So if you were able to pull off that crazy movement. You got ankles, knees, hips, low back, quads, calves, Achilles tendon, feet muscles, all those things working pretty well. Congratulations, you're done with yet another day of live side splits and hip mobility. And I think I saw something that was a really good compliment. Ugh, I'm gonna scoot over so I can read it. Linda K says, already 2 classes and my hips feel better. Amazing. Thank you, Linda, for letting me know. I appreciate you for your consistency, and I appreciate that you feel better already. Amazing. Book says, see you tomorrow. Peace. See you soon. Book. I'll take a quick look at the chat and give me just a second. Oh, we had a whole bunch over on YouTube. Crab Ches sends fire emojis. Aesthetic Universe, welcome back. Aesthetic Universe, you're also being super consistent. I appreciate it. I'm glad that was it last Sunday? You came in, asked some questions, and now you're here every day. I love it. All right. Queen RR says hello. Jax says hello, sends awesome emojis. Crab Ches says, I used to only prefer the forward cars, but since I have practiced more, I enjoy the reverse and forward cars. Doing these alone have helped my hip mobility tremendously. Yes! I am really glad that that is true, because the hip guards are quite possibly the most like direct thing that immediately works on building strength in your range of motion. And part of the reason why we do those 40 reps to start, is to warm up, obviously, but because they actually have tremendous benefit. So if you get in for the first little bit, you get a lot of the benefit right away for your, normal people's hip mobility, right? When we get into the hamstring stretch, when you're folding really far forward, all that stuff, that's nice. But if you're not building a bit of strength in those positions, a lot of the times you'll, chill for a little bit, and that flexibility will just kind of disappear too. But when you build strength with the movements, especially in the hip cars, that has a lot of staying power because you're stronger and more mobile all at the same time. That's why I emphasize them a lot. And so I spend probably the first 10 minutes of the show on that one move, right? Like we spend only a little bit more on the side splits. The first 10-ish minutes is just on the hip cars. So I'm glad you enjoy them. I'm very, very, very happy that you're seeing benefits and you're feeling good. Cool. All right. Let's see what else we got. Stephanie says hi. Hello. Queen R sends some waves. Lois says hello and thanks, Ken. You're very welcome, Lois. Welcome back. Good to see you again. And that is all the chat over on YouTube. I'm gonna scroll back over here onto TikTok. I guess not scroll because I'm just looking at the other phone. If you guys don't know, I have 2 phones running mobile lives at the same time to keep my life easy, so that if I go hang out with friends or travel, I can just go live on my phones. It's not both my phones. I don't have 2 phones. I'm not cool like that. One is my girlfriend's phone, so she just loses the phone for like an hour and a half every single day. Thank you, girlfriend, for your phone. All right, we're gonna scroll and take a look at the TikTok chat. Ignacio says, first class, at what time you enter, please, and thanks. This class starts at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time every single day. So if right now, whatever time it is, if you subtract 1 hour and then you subtract 6 minutes, that's the normal starting time of the live. We do this time almost every single day. Very, 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 very rarely do I miss this time. But I do have some events coming up. I have a bachelor party that I'm attending. We're very mild people, so it's not a crazy bachelor party, but I don't think there's a 0 chance that I might skip a live. If I know that I'm going to skip a live, I'll let you know. But if I don't know, it might end up being a really quick post a couple hours before. It's organized by a bunch of dudes, so it's not organized. All right, so I don't know what's happening. I'm just an attendee. Next, I think that's the only one that I'm probably gonna possibly miss 1 or 2 days potentially. But chances are I'll be here because everybody now knows that I do this every single day, so they probably mentally are adjusted to the fact that I do this. Okay, anyways, let's scroll. Badella3 says, "Thank you very much. I was in pain, now I feel much better." Hey, that's awesome. Congratulations. Was it like, did you start the show in pain and then you felt better by the time you finished up the show? The movement, the sort of practice helped you feel better, or have you been doing this for a while and now slowly over time things that used to be painful don't feel as painful? Like, is the result short term, or is it like long term you've been doing this for a while and now you're feeling much better? Because those are both good to know. Just one is even faster than the other. Um, Idney says you should have the guys do the mobility work at the party. I was thinking that as we were doing the stretches just now there, I was thinking about having them all join in. I can see maybe half of them really into it, and the other half I'm really not sure because it's my friends' friends, right? So I don't know half of them all that well. And I'll throw it into the group chat and see what people say. Because if we can have a whole bunch of people doing it, it'd be really funny. We can maybe have a couple people on screen and then a couple people not on screen. All the people who don't want anybody to see, they can go hide on the other side of the camera. But the people who want to show off how skilled and badass they are at following my instructions on the first try, that would be really cool. Because I don't think any of them have done the live in any capacity. Some friends they are. I'm just kidding. uh, so we'll see. It'll be really fun. So if we can get them to join in. Siri says, "Howdy, gang." Yeah. All right. I'm gonna scroll up and see what else we got. Movimiento art. Movement art. Ooh. Finished? Yes. Yes, we're done for today. We wrap up usually about 1 hour, 1 hour and 5 minutes into the live. We start at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and then we wrap at around 10:05 most of the time. Unless I get really deep into a story and I start explaining something way too much, or I have something funny to say, or a question that's kind of important comes in, and then I get distracted, something like that. But usually it's an hour and a half, hour and an hour and 5 minutes. Five. I didn't mean to say an hour and a half. That's a lot of time. Mandela says, "What about the bed? What about the bed? Are we talking about bed stretches? Bed stretches to help you wake up because you're just like." That's what bed stretches are for. When you don't want to move, and you're like, if I just let gravity do all the work, maybe something else will happen. Punuta says, "Hi, good morning, Mr. Ken. Have a nice day." That's very lovely. Thank you for hopping in. Thank you for wishing me a great day. I hope you have a wonderful day as well. LC Luciana says, "Love." Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yadis says, "Yay, every day. Just found you." Oh, amazing. Yes, we do this every single day. You're gonna see a lot of me if you like this. Moa says not in the AM. No, we do not do lives in the AM because I have to, you know, do stuff unless it's Saturday and Sunday mornings. At Saturday and Sunday mornings, we have a 9 a.m. live. It's not this live. It's not side splits and hip mobility, but it is more gentle joint stuff, slowly working through the full, or as much motion in our joints as possible. Starting from the hands into the wrists, into the elbows, into the arms and shoulders and neck and spine, and down to the hips, knees, ankles, and toes, and then we do some sort of strengthening of the backside of the body's muscles, strengthening up the upper back, the glutes, the hamstrings, the low back, so that he can at least have the strength to actively fight against, slouchy posture. That is our Saturday and Sunday morning shows. But Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., we got nothing. All right, that is time I'm either sleeping or I'm either working. Nicole says, "This is the warm up." Oh, with a crying emoji. Yes, I know it's hard, but we needed the work to slowly loosen up those muscles. I know some of my examples look a little crazy. I've been doing this live something like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of days every single day. So my version is a little crazy looking. it could be less crazy, but then I wouldn't be doing the show and making progress myself, right? Like part of the reason why the show exists is because it keeps me accountable and helps me do the exercises too. And then hopefully I bring enough good energy, good vibes, coaching, instructions, so that you guys have a great time following along doing it as well, right? So this is a community-based effort. It's not just me talking at you, it's me suffering at the same time, maybe suffering even more than you are, all right? So, uh, when it looks particularly awful, you can find a less intense version of the movements. If you need some assistance in finding a less intense version of the movement, then let me know in the chat. Especially like right now, when I'm doing the Q&A stuff at the end, feel free to say, hey, our second warm-up exercise, that was a huge pain in my butt. All right. How can we adjust this to make it a little bit easier? And I will think of some stuff for you. All right. So everybody, if you feel that way about anything in the show, I'm happy you can substitute right in right now. Nicole says it's hard for me to touch my toes. That's absolutely okay. That's the truth for a lot of people. All right. Don't worry about that. Worry only about trying your best, and hopefully we'll make some progress together. Buddha Trokuda is back and saying the swearing starts early. Backwards guards. Maybe backwards hip guards. You prefer backwards hip guards? Noted. Noted. Noted, noted, noted. All right. True Blue says, hello, hip mobility family. How's everyone doing this evening? Thank you for sending good vibes into the chat, True Blue. Exhausted Hamster says, weird way to dance the Macarena, but okay. 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 Rosita says, it's too hard. I wish you're strong. Maybe you wish you were as strong as I am. I'm open to talking about variations of the movements that might be a little bit easier, a little less challenging for you. So if you could tell me which move you were asking about, or felt was too difficult, let me know and I will talk about it. Buddha says super on time today, and if that's Buddha's comment, we are reaching the top. So let's scroll all the way back down and get ready to says thank you for all. Thank you. Medela says, yes, I was in pain before coming for the stretch live. My hamstrings were killing me. Oh, amazing. I'm glad that we were able to, work you through enough of whatever it is to help you get through the hamstring discomfort, hamstring pain. We sat through a ton of really brutal hamstring stretches. So it's awesome that that helped alleviate some of your, discomfort because we put them through a lot in our first stretch. Cool. Amazing. Fayega says, always thanks. You're very welcome. Medela says, no, you were talking about using chairs for support. I was talking about using chairs for support. Chairs for support. Chairs for support. Chairs. Oh, in the splits. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Siri says, howdy, gang. Yes. We are going to. Oh, I'm going to take a screenshot of this and I'm going to forward it to the group chat and be like, hey, you guys, we got a proposition. My audience would love to see you guys suffering in our mobility workout. What do you think? And we'll see what the reaction is. I'll keep you posted. We're also not a very responsive bunch. So we'll see how that goes. He says, I need to strengthen my wrist. So do you have an adjustment for holding up on the side splits? Yes, you can probably. Oh no, there's a group chat for my. I'm going to a bachelor party for my best friend in a couple of weeks, and so there's a bunch of dudes trying to arrange a chat. We rented a house in the middle of nowhere, and we're just gonna hang out and chill, I guess, and tell old stories. I don't know what's going on. I don't have any idea what the plans are, but uh. I obviously do the live every single day, right? But I'll be gone for the weekend, and I'm not quite sure what we're going to do about the live scheduling because it's unclear to me what the scheduling actually looks like. So I was just letting people know that that might be a time that I'll miss a couple of days in the next, I think it's 2 weekends from now. Yes, 2 weekends from now. And we got some suggestions that maybe we should get all the dudes on the live and see how that turns out. I was thinking that exact same thought while I was doing the stretches today, because there was some chit chat in the live chat or in the group chat today about like logistics, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, logistics. Things are getting organized. Cool, that's good to know. And so while we were doing the side splits, I was thinking about it, and luckily, Surrey and I think it was I forgot who said this. Surrey and somebody. What? I literally just saw the name. How am I blanking right now? How am I blanking right now? I've scrolled too far. I can't find the name. How can I not find the comment? Anyways, you're not in a we're not you're not missing out on a group chat that is relevant to our side split show. All right, so don't worry about it, Triple. All right. Megan Zelmer on YouTube says, "What is this about? We just wrapped up an hour-long side splits and hip mobility show. I run this show live simultaneously on YouTube right here on this phone and TikTok over here on this phone. So if I'm not responding to comments that you can see, it's probably because I'm reading comments on one or the other show." And we basically wrapped up. But we do the show every single day starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you're not in the Eastern time zone, we started about an hour and 15 minutes ago. We went for about an hour and 5 minutes, and then we're just chilling, talking, answering questions. If anybody who's hopped in for the first time has questions about movements that they don't do very well, we can make adjustments. Other people like to share the progress that they're making, and so we're just responding, sending good, happy thoughts, trying to create a nice, fun community of positive, supportive people, making the suffering that we put ourselves through, working on our hip mobility, working on our side splits, a little bit more fun. All right. Whew. I hope that answers your question. All right. We had a question from Aini about strengthening wrists. I'm going to scroll one more time to see who originally suggested. Oh, it was Aini. Okay. I was like, I just saw it, but the conversation disappeared. Aini said we should make everybody do side splits at the party. All right. Aini also asked about strengthening the wrists or changing the hand positions in the side splits so that the wrists aren't suffering nearly as much. There are a couple of things you can do. One of them is to grab a little bit of padding for your wrist. This is kind of questionable depending on how your wrists are uncomfortable. All right, so be careful when you get started. Sometimes when your padding is too thick, when you put some pressure down with the wrist and you put it right here, it might actually squish and force your wrist to go even further back at an angle that you don't like. All right. So that might not be particularly comfortable for your wrists. That is something you're going to have to find out. But because it's squishy, because it will squish more where you have a lot more pressure, hypothetically, your palm, this part where the bottom of your hand pushes down, is going to probably put more pressure into the foam than your hands, than your fingertips. So if this motion, bring your palm back towards your forearm, is not so nice for you, then maybe skip the foam because it's only going to make things worse. But what else you can do? Actually, no, we still want the foam. What am I talking about? Oftentimes, when you're in this position, it can be really uncomfortable because your wrist is not capable of like bearing a lot of pressure at this angle, right? One thing you can do is try to find some cushioning and put your knuckles down instead. Just change the way the wrists are interacting with the floor. All right. Another thing you could do, which may or may not work depending on if you have the right tools for it, is if you don't like putting your knuckles down on the ground, you might be able to get some really small dumbbells where your fingers just fit underneath, and you might be able to still straighten out your wrist like this with that grip. All right. So your knuckles aren't smashed into the floor; they're kind of floating because I mean this is a bad example. These dumbbells are a little too small. Hold on. Here we go. Boom. Slightly larger but still small dumbbells. You might be able to straighten out your wrist, get into a slightly more strengthened position, and have a little less wrist pain that way. All right. Let me think. What else we got? If you don't want to spend too much time in this position with your wrists like this, we have some alternatives. Here's the alternative. So far, you've probably been using one very standard piece of stool, hand support, right? If you change up your hand support, you might be able to get yourself onto something that you can rest your elbows on. You might need to put your hands down for a second to adjust, to pull things in, to move around, right? Our legs are up against, our legs are out, our butt is against the wall, our hands are on a hand support. You might be able to spend more time in a position that looks like this instead of all the way up like this, and that would take some pressure off your elbows. You might want to take a little bit of time to experiment and see if there is something that works, some combination of things that work for you. And in the meantime, I'm going to keep thinking about other small changes that we can make to make your wrists a little bit more comfortable. If you got really strong fingers, you might be able to do something like this, depending on how much of your body weight is actually going into your hands. And what else? What else? What else? For most people, that'll probably be it. If you have a lot of flexibility in your wrists in other directions, you might be able to do it comfortably in some other way, but I doubt that you do because almost nobody does. So I don't know if you know this, but there are people who can do push-ups like this, with the back of their hands down on the ground. That's crazy, right? I'm not the only one who thinks that's absolutely insane. That's a thing. People can build so much mobility in the wrist and so much strength here in that joint that they can support their whole like push-up body weight in their wrists like this, with their fingers pointing up, with their palms pointing up, instead of, the other way, the regular way that we do things. That's crazy. But I don't expect that most people, 99.9% of people can do that. Let's see what else we got. Adrian says that would be awesome. Oh, what did I do? That would be awesome. What did I suggest? I don't know. But Aini says thank you. Taras says thank you, Ken. True Blue says, oh, okay. Okay. All right. Great. Done. That's the chat. We didn't lose anybody while I was answering that question. So I think we're probably ready to wrap. Unless Adrian wants to tell me what I said, that would be awesome. The push up with the back of the hand. Oh, okay. Yes. There's this like really old, I'm flashing to a really old Jackie Chan movie that is in like Cantonese because he was like, I don't know, he looks like he was like 25 when he filmed this. So it must be really old. It's like, he's got to be like 70 years old. So this might be a 45-year-old movie, all right? That's, how do I know this movie? I'm not that old. Okay, anyways, it's not the point. There are moments in a training montage where he does some crazy push-ups on some crazy, ridiculous looking thing. Has a master whipping him with a little stick, I'm sure, and he does some push-ups with the back of his hand, and I was like, that's insane. And I've seen a couple of examples since, but that was the first time I was so shocked by it that version, that particular scene is like burned into the back of my head. So every time I see anybody doing a push-up with their back of their hands, it's like, ah, damn, that's crazy. And then I relive that like 12-year-old memory, 12-year-old me memory of that video, and I go, damn, that's crazy. I'm never gonna try that. That seems like a lot of work for not that much benefit. Anyways, maybe if you have like a martial art where punching is really important, strengthening the wrists in that range of motion is really important for I don't know, backhanding your enemies aggressively. But yeah, I don't have that problem, so I'm not gonna bother training for that skill. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, working on consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility. Thank you for updating me on your progress, on the pain, discomfort, how things have been improving, because that makes it a lot more exciting for me to make sure double down on staying up with the show and keeping you guys company on these moves. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm ready to close out. But before I close out, I would like to take some screenshots because there are some really good stories that I would love to remember. I don't know when I'm going to put this into like something that I actually review because right now it's just screenshots in my phone, and they span the course of years at this point, and are unorganized at all. But in my head, at some point, I think that I will absolutely, organize the screenshots so I have these lovely comments saved, and I get a really easy way to have incredible amounts of motivation and feel good about the work that I do, all just by opening up my phone. I don't think I've had a day where I needed it, but I imagine one of these days I'll be just having a bad day and I'll be like, don't worry, I got all these awesome screenshots of people improving their lives because they hang out with me. That makes me feel good. All right. I feel like that was probably everything I needed to do. Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? That's everything. All right. Closing out. Goodbye. I'll see you all soon. Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll be back live doing some more side splits. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I assume all the people who have stayed on for me rambling up until this point, you've already hit follow, you've hit subscribe. So hopefully you doom scroll yourself into some good content. If you happen, I just remembered one thing I'll tell you about. If you happen to be trying to figure out how to build out your fitness thing, and you're trying to maybe do some more calisthenic style work, which isn't stuff that I usually talk about on this live, I did just post a video over on YouTube talking about some gymnastic rings I just bought off Amazon, and they were the cheapest ones on the platform. With oh wait, it's actually right here. I just put it away because it used to be in the space right behind me, and I need to take it down for the show for this thing right here. Gymnastics rings are kind of crazy shaped because they're rings, right? Like your hands are not rings, so we don't have to talk about why ergonomics doesn't make any sense on this product. But that's not the point. I just picked up a couple that have these clips, and the rings, if you've never seen them before, have loops in them so you can hook into the thing so I can really easily adjust and strap it onto a pull-up bar. I don't talk about pull-ups very often on this show, but I got them to do some slightly different training. If you want to get your own, I'm not sponsored or anything. I bought these off Amazon and I was like, these are really inexpensive. I hope they're good. And so I did a little quick review. If you want to watch a little bit more content about fitness tools, that's a video you can go check out. If you have zero interest whatsoever because you only care about side splits, you don't got to go check out that video. All right. It's not going to be very interesting for you because I'm just looking at this thing going, huh, well, look at that. It works because it's really simple and it can't break. It's not like electronics these days where washing machines, refrigerators, and all sorts of things just randomly break for no reason whatsoever because there's a power outage. It's not like that. It's really dumb and simple, and so it works just fine. All right, that's the conclusion of the video. I spoiled it for you, so if you have no interest, you don't have to take a look. There is an affiliate link to that thing, I think, yes, there is in the description of that YouTube video. So if you happen to want to buy these for some reason, because it makes sense as part of your training, if you are not training with these, you have no idea what these do, there's no reason at all for you to go buy random tools that you don't know what you're going to do with. All right. So let me caveat with only buy stuff if you actually need them and you think you're going to use them. Don't buy them because I tell you to buy them. Buy them because it makes sense for your training. All right. And no matter what I say in the future, whatever brand promoting stuff that I do, I stand by this statement. If it doesn't make sense for you in your life, don't buy it just because I said so. Don't buy it because I did a little bit of promotion. Buy it because it makes sense, because it looks fun, because it looks like something you might enjoy, something that might enhance your life, not because somebody told you it's awesome. Because I don't want you wasting. That's it. That's it. That's the other video. Oh, update. Since you guys are the people who are still here, we did just film a like sponsored brand video, and it's over on Instagram soon, if not already out. Is it out right now? My girlfriend's not paying attention, so I can't remember. Is the video out? Okay, it is out. Um, it's over on Instagram because that was the platform we were paid, not paid. We got free stuff. They only asked for us to make a video and put it on Instagram, so it's not posted anywhere else because that was the request. And if you want to check it out, it's the first product company that we've ever worked with that has sent us free stuff. And I'm telling you now, I got it for free, so you know that if there's any opinion in there, it may be biased because I got something for free. And now that you know that, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram and you can go check out that video. It was fun. You also, I think, get to meet the girlfriend for the first time, potentially in our videos. Her face is usually hidden in all the other stuff, but now for the first time you see her. So that's that. Cool? All right. We're ready to wrap. I hope you enjoyed the live. I hope you enjoyed the little update on my social media like thing. And I hope to see you all real soon. Cool? All right.